Taking a quick look through the Star Citizen store page, it's quickly obvious that there are many different prices for getting into the game. You can buy different packages with different ships, and it can quickly get a little confusing. Not to mention, it's difficult to know if the cheapest ships are a viable option. So, what's the true cost of the game? I'm Forrester, and in this video we'll navigate that potentially expensive minefield. We'll cover off the funding model, reflecting on how that compares to the wider gaming environment before getting into the specifics of what you actually need. I've timestamped the video, so feel free to skip ahead to the part you're most interested in. Starting with the funding model for Star Citizen, which is not just as simple as selling the base game. Star Citizen also sells individual spacecraft, so players can tailor their hangar at game launch to what they want to play the most of in the game. Supposedly, all of the ships that are sold for real money will be unlockable in-game, and as much as anything, the descriptions all talk about this being a way to help fund the development of the game rather than as a pay-to-win mechanic. But for many, purchasing multiple ships is the norm. A quick look through the Spectrum forums, or a conversation with many a backer, and you'll find players all too happy to talk about the fleet of ships that they have purchased with real money. And to some extent, that reflects what's been happening in the wider gaming marketplace over the past decade or so, with downloadable content, in-app purchases, or microtransactions becoming much more commonplace. And clearly, many players seem happy enough to spend that extra to customize their experience, to take away some of the grind of unlocking those things in-game. But none of that is by any means a required option. Even with the most humble starter package, it's possible to work your way up to larger ships in the game. But how practical is that? Well, it depends on the precise starter ship you choose, but each has some sort of way of making money. Incidentally, I have a video coming up shortly which will compare the different starter ships, so you may want to get subscribed to the channel for that. The most accessible gameplay loops are the box delivery contracts and the combat contracts, which most of the starter ships are able to complete. It may take several hours work to work your way up to be able to afford the next ship, but if you're up for the grind, it's very possible. The more expensive ships will reduce the grind time by making it easier to complete more lucrative contracts, or access to more lucrative game loops, like mining. For example, opting for a $90 Anvil Arrow package would make it easier to complete higher difficulty combat contracts than the Aurora MR at half the price. The other important consideration here is that all of the mechanics are still subject to significant change as the game develops. It may get easier, or it may get harder to unlock new ships in the future. And time spent in-game at the moment is also subject to progress wipes, meaning that players on the cheapest starter packages may need to be prepared to go through multiple grinds if they want to play the game from now. But the players who choose to do that will be getting the best value game. It's worth adding that whilst the base packages carry the respective price tags, players can further customize their experience through the upgrade feature on the store page. So if somebody wanted a specific ship that wasn't part of a game package, they could upgrade their game package to include it instead, usually for extra money and assuming it's for sale as a standalone ship. So what's the true cost of Star Citizen? Well, for those willing to invest their time in unlocking things in-game, $45 would seem a good point to aim for. For new players, it's certainly what I'd suggest, as it gives the opportunity to try the game within the 30-day cooling off period to figure out if it's something worth exploring further. Whereas for those players who want to step up to the higher echelons more quickly, they might need to be prepared to pay between $100 and $150 for a ship dedicated to their chosen profession, which admittedly is a little expensive. What do you think about that? Are you a Star Citizen player who disagrees? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video interesting or helpful, please do press that like button, as it's invaluable in telling me what sort of video you're finding most helpful. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed, and as ever, thank you for watching.